Then I took a smidge and applied it down there.
This one's wife. She wants to be a pop star. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Well, as the mighty Depeche Mode once sang, it's just a question of time, and it would appear that it was just a question of time before this one's wife moved on to the next thing that she believes that she can do. This one's wife. Oh, how you have failed. Let me count the ways. Royal family member. You didn't last very long at that. Author. The Bench of Stench was absolute shite. Roundly ridiculed, and of course your public reading resulted in a mass of dislikes, quite possibly prompting YouTube to remove the airing of the number of dislikes that a video received. Fashion icon. No. Virtually everything you wear doesn't look good on you. Politics. She's going to march on Washington. It didn't happen. She was pushing for parental leave. That went quiet. She was a shoo-in for a senator position. Nothing happened. Philanthropy. Archwell is just a device to pay expenses and occasionally enable her to throw out a backpack with a nutrition bar. Producer. Netflix have been roundly disappointed with the poor output from this one's wife as a producer and content creator. What about podcaster? One series, laughed at, couldn't be bothered to do most of the interviews. Spotify said no thank you and labelled as fucking grifter. Car chase orchestrator. She said it was near catastrophic and then sat there in her grandma's bedspread, grinning and gurning away like the cat that got the cream, as everybody else scratched their heads and said, how can you have a 2-hour car chase in New York? Mother. She's never seen with the children, bangs on about being a really good one, but nobody ever actually sees her doing anything maternal. Public speaker. As I regularly tell you, she will send a glass eye to sleep. Lifestyle brand owner. Perhaps one of the most obvious cock-ups that she's ever made, with the ridiculous ball gown video as something in some type of gothic horror, the jam scam, and the dog biscuits also. What a load of tosh. Time and time again, this woman turns to something, heralds it as the next big thing, and then it's the square root of fuck all. Why? 2 things. 1, she has no talent. 2, she never sticks at anything. She thinks it should just happen because it's her. That is the sense of entitlement and magical thinking that she experiences as a narcissist. In some instances, she doesn't actually appreciate that building a brand, building a reputation, getting noticed, takes years of hard work, that so-called overnight sensations spent year after year after year getting rejected when they sent their manuscript to agents and publishing houses, that they got jeered at working men's clubs as they built up on the stand-up comedy circuit, that they had A&R men laughing at their contribution when they handed them a recording, and eventually, as a consequence of building up a steady following and perhaps a break here or there, they became noticed. This one's wife not only doesn't necessarily appreciate that that's what's required, but she also doesn't think that it would be applicable to her. She seriously thinks that because it's her, the amazing this one's wife, if she just turns up, it'll happen. That is how deluded she is. She believes that her sheer presence is sufficient to turn something into an overnight success. But as we have seen, so many things that she has turned her mind to have failed because she expects it to work straight away, and when it doesn't, she's not interested in putting in the work to make it work. Her narcissism simply says, all you need do is turn up and it'll work. Oh, it hasn't. Well, don't worry, just move on to the next thing. Well, we got what we needed. People reacted to it, so it demonstrated they were under control and it provided fuel. It manages your facade. So what more is there not to like? She doesn't deliver because she has no talent to deliver, and her narcissism is calibrated, if I can describe it as such, so that she doesn't feel that she needs to put the effort in, because her narcissism deems you don't need to. You're so special, it'll just happen. Having gone through all of those options, it would appear that she's running out of potential areas in which she seeks to shine. But now, is there a suggestion that she wants to become a pop star? As you can see from the thumbnail, she's seen wielding a guitar. Does she think that she's going to become an Ed Sheeran? Are we going to be subjected to her writing lyrics and music? It wouldn't be a surprise if she thought that she could become a pop star. I don't think I've ever actually heard her sing. I know she was in the sort of White Christmas thing with the USO, but other people were singing as well. Can she hold a note? You tell me if you've heard her engage in some singing. To the best of my recollection, I haven't. Nevertheless, even if she can sing, I can't imagine her to be particularly accomplished when it comes to the writing of music and lyrics. But of course, she would think that she would do. But what treats might be in store for us all if she were to enter the world of music? Could we see her undertaking some cover versions of existing songs and tweaking them? Most likely. After all, she is the magpie, plagiarizing other people's work. So maybe she will adopt the Human League's Don't You Want Me? After all, every man wants to bang her, so don't you want me? Maybe she'll go for Cyndi Lauper's Girls Just Want to Have Yachts. Or Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love Me. Perhaps the Spice Girls' Wannabe would be more appropriate. Or Tears for Fears with I Want to Rule the World. Maybe she's got her eye on the Christmas market already and will demonstrate some non-diva-like behaviour with covering Mariah Carey, altering it to All I Want for Griftmas Is You. Maybe she'll go into history and cover Boney M's Bronze Girl in the Ring. Or Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to Me. Given the size of an ego, Destiny's Child Say My Name is probably an appropriate one, or maybe Mark Ronson's Downtown Skank. Maybe she'll go for a bit of Adele with Rolling in the Deep Doo-Doo. Perhaps there's a cover of They Might Be Giants, The Long Grift, or Jacob Earl's The Grift. Maybe she will do an alternative version of Kesha's song TikTok, but call it Dick Cock, or the Black Eyed Peas, Where is the Camera? Creed's With Legs Wide Open. Sia, Cheap Frills. Seal's Kiss from a Hoe. Nelly Furtado's Promiscuous. Pitbull's Give Me Everything. What about Queen? Another Scam Bites the Dust? Or The Hoe Must Go On? So many possibilities. And I'm sure already that your brilliant minds are already formulating song titles that just might be applicable for her. Do share them in the comments and give everybody a chortle. Thus, is it the case that as we see this one's wife wielding a guitar, that she's going to enter the world of pop? Enter the world of music? Well, her narcissism will certainly tell her that it's something that she could do. Everybody else will say, no, it's not. You don't have the talent. You're not popular. Time will tell whether this is an area that she tries to move into. In the meanwhile, I understand that Harry has been compiling his own playlist in relation to this one's wife. On it is FYC's She Drives Me Crazy, Britney Spears, Toxic, Cliff Richard's Devil Woman, Gaudier's Somebody That I Used to Know, Soft Cell, Tainted Love, The Supremes, Where Did Our Love Go, and Lady Gaga's Bad Romance. It won't be a surprise to see if this one's wife tries her hand at something else and fails once again. But as ever, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.